First one, you can use avocado, honey, and oil. So when you take your avocado, right, you put it in a blender, and maybe the magic bullet, if you have the magic bullet, because it actually makes the avocado to be very smooth. It doesn't have any particles, like large particles, if you put it in a magic bullet. So you take your avocado, maybe 2 of them. If your hair is not that thick, you can use 1. If your hair is too thick, you can use 2 avocados. So you use avocado and 1 tablespoon of honey. I love honey so much because it actually helps to strengthen the hair, and it also helps to produce new cell growth as well. So this is something that you have to consider in your weekly home remedies for faster hair growth. You put as well an oil of your choice. Now, if you have a DIY hair growth oil that you use like on a daily basis on your hair, you can put a little bit in your avocado and honey blend. All right, so when you put that in, you blend it together, and then it will come out smooth. Now, if you don't have a blender for this, you can actually use your hands, but your hands, there will be a lot of particles in your hair. Best to use the blender because you want your what in you want your avocado mixer to be very smooth. You don't want any kind of pimples in your hair, avocado pimples, you understand? So that is the first home remedy that can grow your hair faster. The first reason why your hair is growing very, very slow is because there is lack of scalp stimulation. If you don't stimulate that scalp, nothing's gonna come out. Literally, you have to do this. Massaging that is scalp. You really have to go on like this every other day or every day. Scalp stimulation. It's growing very, very slowly. Don't get me wrong, your hair is always growing, but if you don't do these things that I'm sharing with you, your hair is gonna grow very slow, and they're gonna be frustrated, and they're gonna give up, and they're gonna be bold. Because when you give up, your hair starts falling out. So scalp stimulation, it's needed. But it's very important to have a scalp serum that you use every other day. You can actually make it yourself. You can mix aloe vera gel with carrot juice, because carrot is rich in vitamin A, which actually helps. Vitamin A helps with the production of sebum on your scalp. So it helps a lot, and it also thickens up your hair. Carrot helps to thicken up your hair. Over brushing. Hi. Let me actually scratch my eye, because this one, over brushing like this. I really need to get in those knots. Are you putting music when you're brushing your hair? Like, you don't need to over brush like this. It's not necessary, because when you over brush your hair, you are actually damaging your ends when you do that, because your ends are the oldest part of your hair. They are the weakest part of your hair, because they are older than the roots. The roots are new because they are coming out of your scalp. These ends are the older parts, so they are weaker, they are vulnerable. So if you're like brushing excessively, you're gonna cause split ends at the end of your hair, because it's weak and it's prone to breakage. So over brushing is not necessary. Take your time, and if you're brushing, don't brush like this. Start from the ends very, very gently, like you are holding an egg. You know, when you're holding an egg, you don't just hold it like this. You hold it very well, because you know that it's fragile. If it falls down, it just breaks. So just take your hair like an egg.
Actually, to be precise, chicken egg. You hold your hair like a chicken egg, and then you comb very gently, eh? And the other thing, don't do your hair when you're angry, because you're gonna take all the anger on your ends and on your hair. You're breaking it and causing split ends. It's not necessary. Let's say what? Sorry, overbrushing. It's a cause of split ends. Do not overbrush your natural hair. That you must stay away from is heat. You must stay away from heat because already your hair strand is not normal. It has gaps in between, allowing moisture in and allowing moisture out. So you need to stay away from heat as much as possible, but you might use heat if you want to. Now, you do what works for. What works for who? For you, you do what works for you. Just make sure that when you're using heat, you're using a heat protectant and not every other time, because you're damaging your hair. All right, so stay away from it as much as possible, and also stay away from coloring your hair, because that actually damages the hair shaft as well, damaging the natural color of your hair. So just make sure that you are staying away from coloring your hair, and then less manipulation, because like what I say, that high porosity hair actually gets dry quickly. You might moisturize it, and the product is just melting. It's melting inside the hair, and when it melts inside there, 2 hours after later, it's dry like a dry leaf. Don't manipulate. Less manipulation helps a lot if you have high porosity hair, because your hair strand is weak. It has gaps in between. Loving your hair. If we start talking about loving, most of us will be guilty. You have to love your hair. Now, think about it. When you bath, right? You bath every day. Do you? Of course, now. Of course, you bath every day. If you don't brush your teeth every day, people will be like, hey, you can talk. I can hear you from there. Just speak louder so that I can hear. Because you don't want to get close to that person, because that person didn't brush their teeth, right? That's why you brush your teeth, because you don't want to be like, morning. So, the way you love your body, washing your body every single day, washing your teeth, washing your teeth or brushing it, either way, because you want to stay clean. What about your hair? Are you taking care of it? Are you loving it? You know, if you love something, you spend time to take care of that particular thing, right? Am I speaking the truth? If I am, comment below. Now, loving your hair is not just saying, I love it, and in 2 months, you haven't washed your scalp, you haven't washed your hair, you haven't deep conditioned, you haven't done all those treatments that are goodies for the hair. You say you love it. I don't understand ya. You're weird. You have to love it. Love it is taking care of it, washing it, making sure the scalp is clean, deep conditioning it, doing all those hot oil treatments, massaging the scalp. That's loving your hair. Doing something about it. Are you really loving it, or you neglect your hair? Be honest. Comment below. Do you love your hair or you don't? With me, sometimes I do. Let's be honest. Sometimes I do, sometimes I neglect. But it mustn't be like that. You have to love your hair. That is the first thing.
I'm going to be explaining why coconut oil is better at protecting your hair than other oils. Now, coconut oil is often said to be the best oil to use on your hair to reduce protein loss and keep it looking healthy, guys. Now, coconut oil is predominantly made of a medium chain fatty acid called lauric acid. This gives coconut oil a long, straight structure which is more easily absorbed deep into the hair shaft. Now, sunflower oil contains mostly linoleic acid, which has much bulkier structure, so it's not as easily absorbed into the hair. So this means that oils like mineral oils and sunflower oil can coat the hair, but they aren't absorbed as well into the hair shaft, guys. So coconut oil is actually one of those penetrating oils, as I've said before. So it actually helps to protect your hair as well, and penetrating inside your hair, guys. This is something that you need to consider, using an oil that actually is getting inside your hair.
You have to cleanse your scalp. If you don't cleanse your scalp, guys, the new growth that is trying to come out like this, it's gonna struggle. It's gonna struggle to come out of that dirty scalp. So you have to cleanse your scalp on a schedule. All right. Say for example, you wash your scalp every other week or every week. Me, I make sure that I wash every once a week. Even if my hair is in a protective style, I always wash my scalp because I want my scalp to be clean. Your scalp is where your hair is actually coming out from. So if you take care of the scalp and make it a good environment for the new growth that is going to come out, you are going to reap all the goodness and all the nuggets out of your scalp. So that is very, very important, to always cleanse your scalp, guys, on a weekly basis, or whatever regimen you have put in place for your hair. So that is what I have done. I wash my scalp on a weekly basis, really get in there and really scrub my scalp, making sure there is no like a thick waxy sebum on my scalp, because that is just going to distract the new growth that is trying to come out. The first powerful essential oil that will grow your hair like never before is peppermint essential oil. You might have known that peppermint essential oil actually stimulates the hair growth, but that's not the only thing that peppermint actually does. Peppermint oil can cause a cold tingling feeling when it increases circulation to the area it's applied to. Essential oil on the scalp on its own, it might cause a cold tingling sensation, which is not advised. You must always use your essential oils with carrier oils. Now, carrier oils is something like, let's say you're using olive oil and then you put few drops of peppermint inside the olive oil. Never use it on its own because it's too powerful. Needs to be mixed with carrier oil. This can help promote hair growth during the anagen of growing phase. Now your hair has got an anagen phase, which is the growing phase of your hair. If you use peppermint when it's your anagen phase, your hair is going to grow very fast. One study found that peppermint oil, when used on mice, increased the number of follicles, follicle depth, and overall hair health. Peppermint. Don't get me started, okay? It has been used on mice, and they actually found out that it actually created new follicles when using peppermint essential oil. So this is how powerful it is. It can actually create new cells on the scalp, which actually produces new hair on the scalp, increase the number of follicles and follicle depth as well. Now you can mix 2 drops of peppermint essential oil with your carrier oil of your choice, massage it into your scalp, leave it in for 5 minutes before you can wash it out. But sometimes you cannot wash it out, you just leave it in like a theater. You don't have to wash all the time. That's how powerful peppermint is. It can create new follicles on the hair, which means more hair, guys. Don't you want more hair? Don't you want more density? Peppermint actually does that. So that's how powerful peppermint essential oil is.